thought of myself as a mighty big name, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can't even walk, no, without you holding my hand. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide, down on my knees. Oh, yes, Lord. I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I thank God I've made Jesus my all in all. From now on His name, I'm surely gonna call. And if I don't trust Him, I'd be less than a woman, 'cause I can't even walk without Him holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Oh,
Excuse me. What do you say? We can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martini.
Grenada, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Listen to me. So no matter what you say about me, no matter what you do to me, see I know I have the victory, so I can't sit down. He bless the fire down in my soul, and the Holy Ghost is in control. The blood of Jesus satisfies. I give me pass, let me testify. Grenada, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
We can't sit down.
No, me can't sit down.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. We can't sit down.
My God, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
We can't sit down.
I refuse.
Can't sit down.
He's been good to me.
Can't sit down.
I gotta testify. Put up your hands and give him praise. Put up your hands and Grenada, 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 Grenada. Somebody give him.
Yes, indeed. It is time for talking points.
No way. He's been too good to me.
Yeah.
What you say about me?
No.
No matter what you do to me.
No.
See, I know I have the victory, so I can't sit down.
Can't sit down.
He bless the fire down in my soul, and the Holy Ghost is in control. The blood of Jesus satisfies. Please give me pass, let me testify. Say me can't sit down.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. We can't sit down.
God bless.
Yeah, I found I was speaking and hearing myself. I just realized where it was coming from. Yeah.
Put up your hands and give him.
Once again, it is time for talking points. Tonight, we will be joined a little later on by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell.
Good.
He'll be speaking to us on various issues of national importance.
Kept you in your right
There's
mind.
quite a lot to get into, and I have him for a limited amount of time tonight.
Fire.
Can't sit down.
I make no apology.
Can't sit down.
He's been good to me.
Can't sit down.
Brought me from a mighty long way. Put my feet on rock to stay. I gotta testify.
So yes, folks, so roughly around 8:30, we're going to be bringing on Dr. Mitchell and having that conversation with him. Want to say a special good night to all of you joining us via the YouTube tonight. And of course, those of you who are joining us via the Facebook, yeah? Yeah, sometimes you have to bring back some of the old school in and between, you know?
We are a party to reign. We moving on. We striving on. We walking on. Not another domain. We are a party to reign. We moving on. We striving on. We walking on. Not another domain.
So folks, we will be speaking. Just message here. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Talking Points is on. And of course, the guest for tonight is going to be Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell,
Yes,
former Prime Minister,
together.
political leader of the New National Party,
It's a better place.
leader of His Majesty's opposition,
This team is the best.
former Minister of Finance, former Minister of National Security, yeah?
Press. We are a party to reign. We moving on. We striving on. We walking on. Not another domain.
Yeah, I hear the Prime Minister is coming in a while. Yeah, the Prime Minister is returning in a while from the Bahamas. What you was doing in the Bahamas? Or you coming in on private flight and all kind of... Who paying for that private flight? Or who offered the private flight? Because sometimes you have to understand that even though people may offer, you don't take if there's the perception that those people may want something after, you know.
Yes, we have a vision. Walking with an aim. Building the tri-island state with all contests. Tying up the nation together. That's the only way we will make progress.
Oh, gosh, yes, Sister Jenny.
Don't follow the rest. Let them realize that.
If they interfere with me, and that's what they get from Sister Jenny, I want to see if they try again to interfere with her now. Oh, goodness.
We walking on, not another domain. We are a party.
That was a serious case of kick Jenny. Yeah, that was like the highest level alert. That was an eruption of kick Jenny. Yeah, because she real kicked them to it. Folks, if you have not seen Simon Says, you need to go take a look at Simon Says, huh? after the program, not during the program. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that during the program. Afterwards, if you were not lucky to see it earlier, make sure when this program is finished that you go and you view Simon Says.
And the strong will stand firm, the weak fall apart. That's how
This hasn't been a good week for the National Democratic Congress, has it?
the block standing in your way. Tell man I say,
Definitely has not been a good week for them.
we are the party that come here to stay.
Again, during the day today, and let me just pause the tune for a bit on this one. During the day today, you know, brown envelopes does fall different place, right? And some of the messages that I'm seeing there, that we're gonna have to talk about it, not tonight, in depth tonight, but some of the messages, some of the screenshots that I'm seeing there speak to a serious case of misconduct, yeah, and misbehavior in public office. If what is contained in there is true, there is a serious case of misbehavior in public office by the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, if what is there is true, because what I saw on that thing that was passed to me today, because apparently the screenshots that are out are not all the screenshots. There are other screenshots that speak to a situation in Carriacou where an individual lost their job due to falsified documents that were sent from Jamaica. And it's a whole, my good, just total misbehavior. If it is not true, then here's what. One, the email that's there in those screenshots, the email that's there, and I'm speaking to some other screenshots that I've seen. I'm speaking of some other screenshots that I've seen. Nobody in Senate. They pass it in a brown envelope. So, if what I am seeing there is true, and it looks along the same lines and the same type of conversation that was taking place in the other screenshots that we've been seeing circulating, if what I am seeing in those screenshots are true, the MP for Carriacou and Petit Martinique should make things easy on himself and try to save some, if he has any remaining of his dignity, and resign. Yeah? Because what I'm seeing there speaks to the minister together with a third party conspiring to get rid, and I'm going to call the name of Mr. Sebastian Steele from the Ministry of Sports. Yeah? That they conspired, that they paid an individual in Jamaica. I'm saying what the accusation is. That they paid an individual in Jamaica to send a falsified document here to Grenada to be able to get rid of Mr. Sebastian Steele from the ministry. Because remember, Mr. Sebastian Steele coached for many years and so on, and there was a lot of hullabaloo when he was removed from the Ministry of Sport out there in Carriacou. And apparently, from what I've seen in those screenshots, I'm telling you what I've seen, if it is true what is in those screenshots, then it means the Minister for Carriacou and Petit Martinique should immediately demit office. Don't wait. Just go. Yeah? Because that, my friends, in any country on earth, so what is out already is enough for him to have to demit office. But with the additional that I'm telling you that I was passed today, that I have seen, my goodness, if that is the case, because it also speaks to a plot against two other individuals in Carriacou, and that plot is against none other than Senator the Honorable Norland Cox and my good friend Skylark. So in the same way that they conspired against said individual, Mr. Sebastian Steele, to get him out of the ministry. And Mr. Sebastian Steele, if you have not seen those stuff yet, I'm hoping that whoever dropped that, will they drop it so that I could find it, drop it the same place so that you could find it, so that you can start speaking to a lawyer. Because an investigation needs to take place. And if the minister is proven to have done what is being alleged in those other screenshots that I have seen, which even gives the email address of that particular educational institution in Jamaica, and makes the allegation, basically, makes the allegation that the minister, along with the third party, that they conspired to create a story against Mr. Sebastian Steele to get him rid from the ministry. And this is what you call, in the media, a fair comment in relation to something that I've seen, that I am very sure the Grenadian people will also see in due course, because they made sure that they got that hard copy to me today. They made sure they get hard copy to me. I don't know if they're afraid to message it or so. So they got it to me hard copy today. It has names. It speaks of a money transaction. So if that is so, just to get rid of one individual, that what is being alleged is that the minister with another individual paid money to a coach in Jamaica to falsify information and send the coach in Jamaica in trouble too. The coach in Jamaica in trouble, the minister here in trouble, the third party in trouble, every man jack in trouble. So this cannot be allowed. Yeah, nobody don't call and ask me. I ain't nothing to share. Me, all you want to tie me up. Me, Papa, yo. Wrong, Negro. Yeah, but if what I'm seeing there is a clear case, there is a clear case of misbehavior in public office. Yeah? It's a clear case of misbehavior in public office. It needs to be addressed. And the deflection, and the ducking, and the, I'm so busy doing A, B, C, and D that I cannot respond to these things. That needs to stop, eh? Either you come out and say it's fake, and if it is fake, come out and say so. Nothing should you should not worry about coming out and saying it's fake. You should not worry about coming out and saying it's fake. Yeah? Papa, you. So what we're hearing now, and what I'm telling you what I saw. I saw screenshots that are purported to be from the minister within the same conversation where the minister utilized a third party to contact the university in Jamaica in order to make an individual lose their job. So for instance, you contact the people in Jamaica, they give a bad report on the individual, and you utilize and you weaponize that bad report now against Mr. Sebastian Steele to make him lose his job. Mr. Minister with responsibility for Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs, MP Mr. Tevin Andrew. If the allegations are there, if these allegations are true, you need to leave now. Not tomorrow, not next week. You need to demit office now. Yeah? What we saw and what was all over yesterday was bad enough. That in itself is reason for you to go. But believe me, this one will be investigated, even if not by you. It will be investigated, and deeply so. And once anything, all you like to use FIU? Use FIU to find out if there was a money transfer to said individual in Jamaica during the period of time that they're speaking about. They like to use FIU. Yeah? Madam AG, and you like to talk to FIU and direct FIU? Direct FIU on that one. Yeah? Direct FIU so that they can do what is necessary and find out and get all the information that is necessary in relation to that issue. Yeah? That is my view. That is what I believe needs to be done in a situation like that, because the allegations are serious. The allegations are serious. And it falls in line with something that we hear. Because we know that Mr. Sebastian Steele was removed. We know for a fact that he was removed. So if the allegation that a coach in a particular educational institution in Jamaica was contacted by individuals here, that a money transaction took place between down here and Jamaica, and that email come back down, with information that was then used to get rid of Mr. Steele, Papa yo, that is what you call criminal. Yeah? That is what, when you dig in pit, dig more than one, dig several trenches. Don't dig pit, dig trenches. Yeah? So if that is so, the member of parliament for Carriacou, if there is any decency, I don't believe there is, but if there is any decency within the present administration, they would ensure that a impartial and thorough investigation takes place, because I'll assure them, because just remember, I have many friends in Jamaica. I have friends who are in very, very high positions in Jamaica, and this matter will be investigated on the Jamaica end. I can assure you of that. And once the information from Jamaica comes back to Grenada, you all better have completed your investigation as well. Yeah? So, Mr. MP for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, because we also see in those things that you're planning to conspire against Skylark, and you were conspiring, yeah, against Senator the Honorable Norland Cox, that there were plans to go after two of them as well, set them up with something or the other. Yeah, Carriacou people, all you hear what I say. I telling all you what I see. I ain't tell all you that is true. I ain't share it. I telling all you what I saw. And it is in line with what came out yesterday, and it seems to involve the same individuals as yesterday. Right? That is what I saw. I'm just saying what I saw. Brown envelope does fall in place. Sometimes it have my name on it. Sometimes it don't. Right? Nice. You have to be careful, because next thing is a letter bomb the send. So you understand. Sometimes you have to be careful and think. But I'm telling you all, the screenshots that were printed that I saw, what they said. All right? Nice. Folks, in a little while, we'll be joined by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. We may not be on video tonight. We may just have him on the line tonight. So we will be having a discussion in relation to various... Joyce, good night to you. In relation to various things. And my good friends on Facebook, yeah, you all are there tonight. We hope that you all are having a wonderful night tonight. Let me just see what's going on the Facebook there. Hey, Christine Adams. Hey. I hope the hatchet men, them ain't get the hatchet for themselves. Yeah? Again, if what is being alleged in the additional screenshots that I have seen, that I can confirm as a matter of fact that I have seen, if what is contained inside there is truthful, the member of parliament for Carriacou and Petit Martinique would be in serious, serious trouble, because that is misbehavior in public office. That is fraud. There are so many other things that could be attached to that. The bottom line, just leave office. Just go. Yeah? Just go. And if you want to take one or two of your colleagues with you, you could do that too, but go. All right? Nice. No, Natalia, that is not so. You know where you get that one from. Nice. Marilyn, good night to you. Patricia and Matthew out there in Canada, a special good night to you. Hope that you all are doing quite fine. Roy, good night to you. Good night to each and every one of you listening from wherever you're listening. My good friend, yeah, Wade. Good night to you, Wade, and good night to the entire We Noise Radio squad. Those of you who are listening to us out there in Canada, whichever part of Canada you are, if I start to name places, I always get in trouble because I'm naming some, I don't name the others, and then people vex with me. So I ain't naming them tonight. All right. But all of you out there in Canada, those of you as well who are out there, all different parts of North America, whether you're in Texas, listen, we have a heavy listenership out there in Texas in particular. North Carolina, Maryland, Florida, New York, yes. Washington, D.C., yes. California, Arizona, yes. But you see, when it comes to Texas, yeah, down to truck drivers out there in Texas, they are locked into the program. All right. So, folks, as I said, we will be joined by Dr. Mitchell in a short. He's not on yet, but he'll join us in a short while. and we will be having a serious conversation in relation to various issues that are taking place in Grenada at this point in time. Yeah, so again, what I saw yesterday, that is enough in any decent country, in any decent administration. That is enough for conversations to take place in relation to removal from office. Yeah? Even if a person wants to step aside and say, let an investigation take place, and at the end of the investigation, that they are exonerated and they are returned to their substantive position, no problem. Or if they know for a fact that they've done what they've done and they just decide that they're going to step aside, that's another issue. But at the end of the day, I'm saying that from what I've seen there and what I've explained to you, that is even as bad or maybe even worse, because you've conspired to take a man bread out of his mouth, if that is true. A man who has to work to take care of himself and his family. And this would be that false information was created. That monies were paid to individuals to help create that false information, to box a man bread out of his mouth. And while you did that to him, that he was planning to do it to others. That is not nice at all. All right, folks, so it is nearly time for us to go over and get Dr. Mitchell on the line. Let me see if I can have him on the line. Hello, good night. Hello? Hello? Okay, we're going to try in a short while again and to get the leader of His Majesty's opposition on with us. Yes, so let me just send a message. Yeah, nice. Yeah, right. So we're going to try in a little while again just to get him on. And let me try now. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Okay, maybe away from the machine. So when he comes on, I'll just get a message that he is on. All right. Yeah, but investigations need to take place. Yeah? Listen, you have guns coming into this country. The police have referenced that they found more drugs so far for this year than they have found for the whole of last year. They found that in the first few months of this year, they've already found more drugs in Grenada than they found for the whole of last year. You have guns, every now and again, shots going off different places, people getting killed. So that must be connected to money. They're not sending FIU to investigate those things. Yeah? You know what they're sending FIU to go and investigate and so. Because they only care about one thing. They don't care about the other things. Yeah? They don't care about the other things. So, good evening, Dr. Mitchell.
Good evening, Sheldon. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
The biggest man in Grenada now. You're the biggest man in Grenada, right? The most important man?
Well, it seems so. A whole press conference, Doc.
When the Attorney General, the first time to come to a press conference, the Attorney General of the country, when a whole press conference and big news, breaking news. No, it's sad.
Really, really sad.
Very sad, Sheldon.
And indeed,
very sad, very sad.
We've had.
How are you, Sheldon? How are you doing?
But I'm good, Doc. I'm really, really good. I can tell you that the outpouring of love and support from the party itself, the executive of the party, the members of the party, even members of the NDC are meeting me in town and saying, stay strong, brother. Members of the NDC, card-carrying members of the NDC as well meeting me, and they're upset over this thing. So believe me, I nearly cried the other night, with all the love that I've been getting.
Well, it is clear that it is a pure political motive behind this, and it's a clear demonstration of desperation on the part of the hierarchy of the government, and it's clear that after 2 years in office, the government, major press conferences called to talk about something, about some telephone issue when they have people outside there bawling and the country is hurting, the joblessness outside there is growing every day. The economic situation is dire outside there. The single mothers and family are experiencing serious pain, inability to help their families. The fishermen are bawling out, the farmers are bawling, the bus drivers, the taxi men. The country's economic situation is in a tailspin. The government is calling a press conference to talk about an issue, one issue that concerns an individual, and the whole country is hurting. So it's clear, it is clear desperation. And the government and the minister should be ashamed of herself. If she was not the one who initiated this, then she should be ashamed that she's been used to propagate that type of mindset coming from the government side at this particular time. So I was startled. Over the years, Sheldon have been in government, and as you know, there are elements of the National Democratic Congress that has attacked me viciously. All sorts of lies, and they had all sorts of talk shows, and they spent all their time. And I could have done a lot legally and otherwise, and never one day responded to them. Not one day did I respond to them. Therefore, they fell on their own weight. And in a free society, a democratic society, if you are going to victimize people on the basis of their opposition to you as an individual in government, then you should not be in politics. Stay away from politics if you do not want to be criticized. This pettiness, this thin-skinnedness is a hallmark of this present government, because it is made up of people with little political experience. And they should understand, when you put yourself in politics, you're exposing your entire being to the public. And therefore you have to be more thick-skinned than this. And this is unfortunate that the country had to be treated in this very petty manner that was demonstrated by a senior minister of the government. So I am happy, and you should not be worried. There are a lot of people behind you. And if they have an issue, they should know how to deal with it. And I know you will deal with it. And there are others who will help you to deal with whatever issue emerges. But that's not the way to give the impression that if you have a legal matter and they're ready to take you to court. And it is so desperate, and it's unfortunate that the government is seen to spend its time on an issue like this, in a time like this, under a condition like this. So hold on, my brother, and keep going. You have 100% support from the New National Party and its team and the country as a whole. As you mentioned, I have a number of people who are not supporters of this, of the NNP, who called and say this is nonsense, because they know how much I took from elements of the NDC when I was in government over the years. And they knew that I never reacted like this because I not demonstrate that level of thin-skinnedness dealing with matters of public interest. I've never done this. So keep going, my brother. Keep going, keep going. My call tonight is to talk about other issues, not just to assure you of our support, and that the fact that you should continue to nail the government on its behavior on issues of importance that the country is concerned about. And they can't touch you. And they can't touch individuals who have issues to speak about, and to get them be afraid to do so.
Yes, indeed. But Doc, the situation in Grenada right now, I've spent some time in the St. George market over the past few days. I usually pass by the vendors, the bus terminal. I'm all over. And one of the things, the constant themes I keep hearing from the people is, it have no money circulating, there's no money circulating, there's no money circulating. You hear it from the vendors in the market, you hear it from the busmen, you hear it from everybody that there's no money circulating. What is your perspective of what is taking place with the Grenadian economy at this point in time?
Well, we just had a meeting. The opposition had a meeting with the Article 4 consultation team from the IMF. We had that meeting today Thursday, right? We had that meeting this morning at 11 o'clock. And we will be putting out a release on that meeting, and I'm sure we await the final report of the IMF. But we are able to engage them, and what we saw as the main issues of the macroeconomic situation in the country as a whole. Our team comprised former Minister of Finance Gregory Boyne, former Minister of Trade and Economic Matters, who's also chairman of the party. And by the way, Gregory Boyne is deputy political leader of the National Party. He was there. I myself, as a former Minister of Finance, was also in the team, and Minister Emmeline Pierre, under whose portfolio the Ministry of Education existed, and who was responsible as Minister of Youth for a lot of the initiative, a lot of the programs for young people that has been demolished by the present government, and recognizing the state of despair among the young people in the country. She was there to give a perspective, as she saw it, about the state of play of the young people in the country as a whole. It was an impressive meeting because we were able to gain insight into the understanding that IMF models of operandi, and how they see the importance of economic activity in a country, and the variables that determine when some things are going right or not going right. We are able to get a gleam into this, and we were able to give them our own foresight and analysis of the present situation in the country. One thing came out of it. We all agreed that prior to 2022, from 2013 to then, that Grenada's economy was performing one of the best in the region. It was restated again. And because of the programs and initiative that we took during that period, we were able to manage the economy and build resilience in the country, so that if we had any shocks, external shocks, like hurricane, earthquake, or any disaster, that we were able, like we did, we were able to meet the basic needs of the country during COVID-19. And it was identified again that Grenada was one of the best countries in handling that period and making sure that the people were able to sustain their livelihood in that very difficult time, probably better than most countries in the region as a whole. So we had an excellent meeting. And as we all identified, we said, look, you don't need to have an economist or somebody at a mathematical level, myself or any other person, or statistician or econometrician, to understand what is happening in Grenada. You walk around the country, you drive around the country, and shops that normally used to be buzzing with activity on an afternoon, they're all dead. You pass through an area like St. John's, the lands who never slept. St. John's is permanently sleeping. The lands is permanently sleeping. Most of the St. George's area, you pass and people are just expressing. The retail sector are telling you things are dead. They're not selling anything. Even the supermarket will tell you the sales have dropped dramatically. So the small shops in the different communities that people buy things from. I tell you, people do not have the money and they can't afford to be just providing credit to people when they know they are unable to pay. So there is a dire situation. And what is sad, Sheldon, is that when you are in a government or you are responsible for guiding the lives of people and things are not well, you have to expect to see some empathy or some initiative taken by those in authority to give you some hope. You've seen the complete opposite. The present government, since they came in, has been doing one good job, which is taking care of themselves. I mean, you just have to look of the tremendous increase in their wages overnight before they even started working, and the concentration of work. When you look at what has happened in their own individual community, almost everybody is building a road leading right up to their homes. Almost everyone has been doing this. So, as one well-known personality been talking this evening and saying that, people been just helping their family members. You see contracts given to friends and family, and just a small clique of people, while the majority of people are having pain outside there. No, this is the kind of a government that seem to one thing, to take care of themselves, and they don't seem to care. You don't feel the empathy existing, given the pain that people are experiencing outside there. So overall, it was very clear. It is very clear that the country in a very serious state economically, and that more and more people are. When we cannot walk the street now, when I walk the street now, and I'm sure almost every NNP person would tell you this. It's not just about me. It's about the hope that the NNP brings. And people know that when we were in government and there were some difficulties, they saw the government taking leadership and articulating some solution or ideas how we can deal with the problem. Look at the issue with crime in the country. We expect leadership to be engaging the population and doing something about it, or at least providing hope that they understand the problem as it exists. Instead of that, it's like numbness in the mouths of those in authority who are leading the government at this particular time. So it's quite a shame what is taking place in the country as a whole. It cannot be said that NNP is not NNP, and I think there's a tendency in this government to continue to do terrible things and want to blame everything on the former government. The people made changes in the government and gave you leadership. So it means that they want to change. They would like to see some more of the things they were getting, or different aspects of it. Instead of that, what you get is a blaming game after 2 years. Stop blaming the government and get to work and do what you can to help people, instead of talking about those that the people already removed from office. You are talking about them, about that particular set of persons governing the country then. So it's a shame what is taking place. But as I said, this does not surprise me. What is happening when you look at the team that was put together by the National Democratic Congress. I did warn the nation that they were taking a big risk with people that did not understand how government operates. They did not seem to care of the serious decision that has to be made to keep government functioning effectively. What is necessary to make sure that you can make all sectors of the society not having the best time, so to speak, but certainly giving everybody some hope that the government has everyone in mind and is willing to help everyone to improve their lives as they see fit. You may not succeed in everything that you plan, but certainly that should be a fundamental objective going forward. So, Sheldon, you should be a very happy man. They're making you the most popular man in Grenada, Carriacou.
Well, Doc, I'm telling you, radio programs, television programs. I'm pretty sure the front page of every newspaper tomorrow. It's expected because here it is that they're coming up on 2 years, Dr. Mitchell. 2 years in just a few days, in around 10 days, they'll be celebrating 2 years in office. What grade do you give them as a government? How do you grade the government? How do you grade their leadership in those 2 years?
Well, as a former professor, I'm not an easy grader, and I don't grade people from just talking. I grade from the actual performance of individuals. So this government certainly would get an extremely low grade. And I think they themselves would not grade themselves heavily. So if they had the opportunity to just grade themselves, I think they would give themselves a very poor grade at this particular time. But I want to mention something of great importance. Mm-hmm. One of the worst decisions this government has made, and an illegal one, is this giving of millions of dollars to members of the government. The GDP Bank, and that came up today in the discussion we had with the IMF team. The bank's whole objective was never to take money and a whole policy and give it to ministers of government. To me, this is a crime against the people of the country. And I find it strange not enough people are speaking about that. Here you come in on a major press conference and talking about an issue with telephone calls. And you're giving away millions of dollars, not $100, $1,000, millions of dollars to members of your own government, hundreds of thousands of dollars to others, $1.7 million to one man from the bank. This is the kind of crime that the Baileys committed in the people's name. And I have no apologies. No minister during NNP time in government, or no member of the government, no member of my family will come to me and ask me to get them a loan in GDP. The bank is supposed to operate based on its policies. And those who qualify would go to the bank and satisfy those objectives and get the resources. And in fact, there was not any decision, any criteria in there that says ministers of government must get loans. So I don't know how this group came in. And one of the first things they did was to take millions of dollars and give themselves. This is quite frightening. And I did not hear enough noises from the public. I could only assume if the NNP or Keith Mitchell had done something like this, you might have seen mass demonstrations in the country at this particular time. So my people must understand, if something is wrong today, it cannot be right tomorrow. If NNP was doing something that is not right, it cannot now become right under the National Democratic Congress. And if NNP was doing something right then, it cannot turn out to be wrong now because another government is in office. That is something I believe that we all must be concerned about, and it's an issue of serious concern. And when you talk about, look, Sheldon, last night I stayed up to watch the DT20 game between West Indies, and as you know, the cricket is close to my heart, and of course I've been in touch with the members of the team. I've been in touch with the management who's now playing, heading the West Indies cricket at this particular time. As you know, we had a consultation in Trinidad recently, led by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, where we met with all the former players and present players and other stakeholders. And I was pleased to see the performance of the team. And clearly they have issues that they have to be careful with, because they can identify areas of weaknesses that should be corrected in going forward in the next game that they're playing. If they hope to capture the crown then they clearly have some issues they have to deal with. But we are proud of the fact. And this T20 game, as you remember, the last time in 2007, we hosted, the West Indies hosted a T20 World Cup. Grenada had several matches because we and the NNP team and personnel were a key part of the negotiations for the games. And you remember when the games were launched, it was launched in Jamaica, and I represented the entire Caribbean leaders of government because I was one responsible for cricket at that particular, and I addressed the entire world. And Grenada had many games, as you remember, and it would have brought in a lot of economic activity. It would have helped a lot of the vendors who are now treated like dogs in the streets of the country, being thrown out in the streets like if the people don't care. You would have seen many of them having some basic economic activity taking place. We can't even get a game, not in a win ball game we can get. St. Vincent is getting games, St. Lucia is getting, Jamaica is getting, Trinidad is getting, Barbados getting several. In fact, I'm planning to attend the final game in Barbados at the end of the month. But this is the state of play. Where we just a World Cup game, a major stadium facility exists in our country, and a government coming after the history of successful hosting of international games, even test cricket. We can't even get a game in a World Cup. That is the state of play of the mindset on the mismanagement being organized by this present administration. I am not going to hold back my mouth. After I've given 2 years to this government, it cannot be said that I have heartburn that some of them would want to see because we're not in government. That cannot be. I'm concerned about one thing, not position in government. I'm concerned about what's happening to the country. And I'm concerned they're going to be hearing from a voice. I don't care what they say. They could run them out. They're accustomed running them out. I keep telling them already, nothing they can do to Keith Mitchell. They can try, but nothing they can do. Everything has been tried already and failed. And I told them only recently, Sheldon, and I repeat today, I'm like corn flying fish. It's already conned. It cannot be interfered with otherwise. So they can try what they want, but I'm going to be very aggressive, very active in articulating the concerns of the people in the country, despite any concern raised by anyone in government. This is going to be my position and continue to be so. As long as I have the breath of life in me, I will not stop speaking about the issues of concern, particularly the poor and vulnerable people in the country. That is what we have to talk about. Instead of spending time in a press conference and calling a whole press conference and wasting the government time on an individual.
Actually left a
talk
cabinet.
about issues that improve the lives of the people of the country. That is what you're going to be talking about.
But Dr. Michele left a cabinet sitting, cabinet wasn't important to them that day. They actually left a cabinet sitting to come out and have that press conference. That's how important it was to them.
No, but it tells you the cabinet meetings are not important. It's not that but the concept was not. It tells you if they could leave the cabinet meeting to come and do this and hype up the nation and tell them get ready with this major press conference and breaking news and blah, 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 all sorts of nonsense. And to leave a cabinet meeting where you're supposed to be making decisions that interfere and help the lives of the people of the country. It tells you that the cabinet meeting does not take any serious decision to affect the lives of the people positively. They may be taking a lot of decisions that affect the lives of the people negatively. So they could afford to leave cabinet at any given time. Because any one or two of them can create mischief as they've been doing in the country at this time.
So Dr. Mitchell, I heard from the Vincentians over the past few days, every hotel room sold out, loads of energy over there, people excited going into the cricket there. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, Grenada, we ain't even getting a bush league. We can't get
we're getting a win ball game.
Not a win ball game in Grenada, and it's very sad to see where we have come from. from being able to secure not only World Cup but Test cricket matches with the major teams coming to the Caribbean. Grenada always was a destination to get to this stage, from having things like the Grenada Invitational, and now we basically have a stadium sitting there that it's going to be very difficult to get games back to that level. Your views on what has taken place with the Grenada Invitational?
I could tell you, if the NNP was in government and I had any say at all, we would have had a successful invitational track and field event. Because this government values sports. This government, our government, value the correlation between sports and economic activity in our country, particularly in the Caribbean context. And therefore, we would have seen it not just as hosting a game, but we would have seen it as something that would have been able to help the economic atmosphere in the country as a whole, and showcasing the talent of the young people in athletics throughout the length and breadth of the country, and exposing that to the international community. That's how we would have seen it. And we would have been prepared to pay the price to ensure that happens.
Yes, indeed. Because and the thing is, it was so difficult for some of the athletes, because I saw the Lyndon Victor. He put on social media how it was really sad for him. We saw Kirani James speaking about it as well, because many of the athletes, especially as that springboard to go into the Olympic Games, they were looking forward to it, and now to not have the games take place, it's been very sad for them. Even the Olympians who wanted to come home to be part of the games, to be there and to be recognized at the games, that opportunity, they were recognized at some other activity, those that did make it. But it's just a sad situation all around. Something that I definitely agree would never happen under a new National Party administration. Dr.
Well, clearly. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sheldon.
I know you don't have a long amount of time with me, but I want to ask a particular question.
Sure, go ahead.
When it comes to the issue of travel, I know that you have posed that question and many others at the Parliament level. What have you been told? What is taking place in relation to travel? Because we're still realizing, we're hearing of ministers being out nearly a full month for the year so far. You have at least 2 ministers, well, 3, who have been out for, if you check the number of days, nearly a full month already for the year. What have you been hearing in relation to that? And give the public an insight into what occurred, I know, but what occurred under a new National Party administration when it came to travel.
Well, Sheldon, as I said before, these members of this government are very green persons who probably never really had a good time in their life, or who traveled to any part. So see this as an opportunity to have glory, to enjoy themselves. So every opportunity to jump on a plane and to go to a hotel room abroad and to eat nice and drink nice, they jump to it. The many members of our government saw things differently. We saw entry into government as an opportunity to serve people. So if you compare the cost of travel to ministers of government in this time, in just 2 years, just if you get the real figures, you'll find out the cost of the travels of these ministers are more than the cost of travel of the 9 years from 2013 to 2022. I am sure if you get the real figures, you'll show that it has cost the country in 2 years of their period in office more than it cost the government of the NNP in 9 years. Particularly so, when the ministers traveled, we were able to bring back things of economic nature and opportunities for the country, as opposed to what is now. You don't know what members are doing outside it. They don't report. They don't give an account of the resources that they're spending. They do not tell you what is being achieved by the expenditure. And I want to go further. We had a cabinet conclusion during our time which says that the only time you're allowed to travel, one, if the travel is important, you'd have to show, and the submission must come to cabinet. No minister can leave the country without a cabinet conclusion saying you're allowed to do so. Unless, of course, there's an emergency and they will call the chairman and the chairman give okay, but eventually the information would reach the cabinet, and you would have accountability in that respect. So that the cost of the travel would be so would be clearly designated, and also the purpose of the travel and what is going to be achieved from that expenditure. That was there, but this is a free for all now. Apparently, all these conditions of cabinet conclusion is now the authority is now given to permanent secretary. I understand, and so even public servants, I would assume, would be free to take advantage of this openness on freedom to travel, and delegations that when people are traveling, you had delegations 6 and 8 and 10 persons. In our time, unless everyone has an important role, you did not see this. And I never think I traveled with more than 2 or 3 persons traveling with me, and we achieved a lot for the country with just the minimum number of persons. But today, it's not about what they're going to do. It's about the opportunity to have fun, the opportunity to live nice and to live in nice hotels and to enjoy themselves. That, it seems to be the evidence. And when you look at a minister going abroad and you see a Facebook page, a minister is showing that they're drinking champagne and eating lobster, it's almost childish. You know, you should not even be thinking of sending pictures of that nature, because it shows a level of mindset which is inconsistent with what you expect from a serious person representing a country. But that is the state of play of this government.
Yes, indeed. Because I as a former member, I can tell people that it wasn't that you just pick up and go. There had to be a reason, and there had to be some benefit to the country. But has this government at least attempted to make available to you, as leader of His Majesty's opposition, with questions placed in Parliament, have they attempted at any time to provide you with the correct information regarding travel?
No, most times, and sometimes what they would say, for example, when we sent a question to Parliament recently about the tickets that were given to people get funding initiative from the government, and we wanted the names of those travelers, they say that that is not a modus operandi. That is not within the administrative decisions of this government. Something, a broad answer like this, and that they refuse to answer. But what these guys do not know, there's going to be a new government sometime in the future that will ask for serious information on some of the things that they're refusing to do today. And the guys must understand accountability is something that they all must be concerned about, because what you do today could end up affecting you tomorrow if you are not careful, and if you are not clear on and using the rules of the game properly to protect the country and at the same time to protect yourself.
Now, Doc, I know I said only a half hour, but just one other question that has been coming in from 1 or 2 other people. The question of national security. Many Grenadians do not feel as safe as they felt just during the period of time of the New National Party. We're hearing of sporadic gunfire different places. We've had execution-style murders taking place. In fact, from the time the gun amnesty started, you started having, again, execution-style murders by the gun. The issue of national security. Your thoughts on what is taking place right now in the country? Because I'm having several questions coming in relation to that.
Sheldon, it is clear that the government has to take full responsibility for the state of play of the security situation in the country as a whole. The government came into office with a relatively good and stable security situation in the country. They proceeded to make massive changes within the police force, from captain down to cook, removing key personnel, trained personnel in key positions of security, whereas the commissioner of police and top members of the police force, whether it's the FIU, and putting in what they call people that they trust, so to speak, and elements who are there placed in position, who were brought in from retirement, who cannot say of a history of being top members of security of the country, or brought back in because they are supposed to be friends or party supporters. That's the only conclusion one can draw. So by taking those decisions, you have demoralized the hard-working and professional members of the force. The resultant effect is that people are going through the motion, and the elements in our society can understand what is taking place. And it is said, like anything else in life, if we do not feel a sense of control around us, if our parents did not show leadership and set clear directions and showed leadership and concern and were prepared to penalize us for things that we do wrong, we all would be semi-criminals. So this is what you're seeing in the police force at this particular time. And therefore, all the elements that you're seeing now in the country in security has a lot to do with the government interference, political interference in the police force, which is causing decay. I drive through the streets and I could see the impact it's having on the traffic wardens and the police officers. Well, I feel sorry for these police officers right now. People losing respect, and that's unfortunate because the police officers, they mean well, and I know most of them are serious citizens who want to give the best service to their country. But if those in authority do not demonstrate that level of concern and that level of interest for professionalism and for what is right in the protection of the safety of the country, then it makes it difficult for a professionally minded person to operate accordingly. So that's what's happening, and I can't understand how the government doesn't seem to know that this has a lot to do with what they're doing themselves and the fact that people do not feel the government concern and hope in dealing with the security situation in the country.
We've also had a situation where there was an active case in relation to guns coming into the country. The case apparently just extinguished, terminated. I don't know what terminology to use for it. No press conference in relation to that. We've not been told the reasoning. We haven't been told what happened to the guns. Were they given to the person? Were they seized? No information in relation to that. And people.
Well, we're hearing that report. We're hearing that report, and no answer. No one is addressing if this is true, and if it is true, why this person was allowed to clear those guns. But we also have other concerns. As you remember, about a year and a half ago, John Key was murdered, from all reports. And I did call the government that listen what you are hearing. One was very concerned. and he was sending the wrong message about what is taking place in our country. And I asked that the authorities bring in FBI for Scotland Yard, as was done way back in the 60s when we had a serious murder in the country that was not solved. And there was immediately an attempt to say they arrested somebody. No, I understand the person's out on bail, and there were no serious movement in that particular area. So it's clearly that one has to believe the whole arrest was a fake. I say that one has to believe this. And I don't know how else we would term it. And it seems that murder of John T. is unsolved. So it seems that people can feel, they can kill, they can maim, and get away with it in this country, especially if they are perceived to have some sort of leaning with government authorities and so on. And that is the kind of thing that is worrying to a lot of people. And unless that is dealt with, no matter what the government says, people will perceive it to be so. So the government needs to come clean with a serious issue of that John T. murder and any other incidents of violence in the country. And this whole issue of gun being brought into the country must be dealt with appropriately. Okay?
And I think they need to remember there's no statute of limitations on certain crimes in Grenada. Huh? So there's no statute of limitations there.
Well, it's obvious that people will understand this, and I'm sure that the population understand it too. Sheldon, but I just want to say to you, keep on trucking and do what you're doing.
Yes,
making sure that you're articulating the viewpoints on the serious issue confronting the country, and let no man frighten you. All the best.
Thank you so very much, Doc. You have a wonderful night tonight.
And you keep going, man. Keep going.
Yes,
Take care.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, folks. We were speaking there with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, former Prime Minister, leader of His Majesty's opposition. And quite a few issues there. Yeah, the issue of crime and what is taking place, national security. Also, we even speak cricket in between. So quite a few issues that were raised there. And also the state of the Grenadian economy. And I'm serious because I'm always in town. I'm in town on a daily basis. Outside of Sundays. Very rare I'm in town on a Sundays. And sometimes I'm in town on a Saturdays as well. And the constant refrain that I've been hearing from vendors, and I'm not just speaking about those in the market, but you're speaking about those with the stores as well. And you have people telling you basically, well, what sense does it make that I come down with my stuff and have to pay transportation to come down with these things? And after I come down with them, I have to go back up with it. That they actually spend more money in transportation to bring their goods down to town than they make for the day. That is the reality of the situation with many of the vendors that you see in town. And then on top of that, you also have the situation with vendors who may take the chance to do something at the side of the road. Yes, we know it's illegal, we understand. Who take the chance to do that. And then a police van pulls up. And the police, you can't be upset with the police. They're doing their job as they are directed there. So this is not an attack on the Royal Grenada Police Force. Police officers are doing as they are directed by the powers that be. So the van pulls up, throw the person table or throw the person goods on top it, take them. Sometimes they detain them. I've met people that said, well, look, they had to pay $1,000 to come out, and so they were charged, and so on with street side vending. You're hearing a situation where everybody has to be into the market by next week. You're hearing all of these situations taking place. And my question is always, why is it that every move that's being made is always being geared to one particular part of the Grenadian society? It's always being geared towards the people who they're trying to do for themselves. So now you see them speaking, and this is the thing. 1 minute earlier this year, you were hearing the government speaking about regularization. You heard them saying it during the budget debate, and they have been saying it afterwards, speaking about giving land tenure to people who are squatting right now. And then, lo and behold, you have the person in charge of the lands thing on television last night or night before, speaking and threatening squatters. Threatening the squatters. So on one side, they're saying, well, we are going to regularize squatters in various areas. You have the situation like up by my good pastor, where people are told, well, come down. We have to bring down people here to come and stay down in this area. So you have those things taking place. And then now you have this person just jumps on and says, well, no, they have to, they're threatening, basically threatening the squatters. Nobody is saying squatting is correct. But the messages, you're getting opposing messages coming out of this administration. On one side, all you squatting, nice. We're going to regularize all you there. So we're coming in this area, we're coming in that area. Then you hear them bringing in people into the ministry, giving them a job now to go out there and to interact with those people who are squatting or who are on Crown lands and so, to get information from them and so on. But it seems as though that information, as one person mentioned, it seems as though the information is to find out which ones of them is NNP and which ones is NDC. So you decide who will get to stay and who have to go. And there's no strategy that you're just saying you're going to regularize people. Has a land use strategy been put in place that says to people, hey you, we are allowing people to live here, or that we want to shift you from here, you'll have to go to somewhere else, or you're just going to break down people's place? Are you going to say that these lands in this particular area are going to be reserved for agriculture as per a national land use strategy that says these lands cannot be used for housing, these lands have to be used for agriculture, so that people know agriculture is what these lands are going to be used for, and they work to suit? But instead of that, it's just 1 minute we regularizing all your, next minute we come in and break down all your place. You have the people that have been doing their business, some of them for years. Yes, we understand that where they are, it may be illegal. Yes, we understand that in some instances, some of those places, some, not all, because Grenadians take a lot of pride in their surroundings. That's one thing about Grenadians. They take a lot of pride in their surroundings. You don't go by Grenadians and find a set of garbage around the place, and so general. Grenadians are very clean people. They take a lot of pride in themselves. So some of the places, even though they may be located and they're operating a business there, and it may be illegally located there, they're not no tear down and break down kind of place. But when you have the leadership of the country basically saying, them that coming in on private plane right now, yeah, them that coming in on the airport on private plane, when you have them being able to say that they ain't come here to be the prime minister over no slum, and making those kind of derogatory statements towards people, you have to wonder what is really going on. Folks, we're going to open the phone lines, 440-7377, 347-329-3101. So we're opening the phone lines, giving you all the opportunity to call. And as to, I realized that there were 1 or 2 calls from a private number. We don't answer calls from private number. We would respect your privacy and not answer. So folks, if you want to call, the phone number is 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Give us a call, yeah? And you can also call us on WhatsApp as well. Yes, we will take your call on WhatsApp as well, so you can give us a call. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good night. How you doing, my dear?
Not too bad. There was a nice topic tonight with the dog.
Yes, of course.
They can't stop the rain from falling.
Yes.
And let me tell you about the street vendors. Them vendors were balling the market. It's the same people that come when after election have pampers and have this in their hand and say, no, we kill kid. And they want back the same kid. They say what goes around comes around. But I want to tell them tonight, they same, they lose, we win. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. And the thing is, I don't like to paint with too much of a broad brush when it comes to those issues, because there are a lot of people that didn't take part in that, but they are the ones getting the lash right now. Yeah, they did not go and vote for the government. I'm not saying that that is all of them or the majority of them. It may be a minority, but they gain the lash too. they getting the lash too. So whether it's because who does squat? The people that are squatting on crown lands are not rich people, you know. It's not people that have $2 million in the bank. It's not people like the family members of the various government ministers and senior party hawks that working for $15,000 and $10,000 and $8,000 a month right now. It's not those people. The people who squat and so on are people that sometimes trying to make it from day to day, week to week, month to month. And there are you, after telling them, hey, we come in and regularize. Now you have on the other side, no, we come in and break all your place. We come in and move all you. So the messages are conflicting. The messages are conflicting. But it's always messages aimed at attacking the poorer people in our country. So it's always, as I say, what the song go, the poor man I feel it. It's the poor man I feel it. So you have the vendors in town. You just tell them, we're going to take all of you all, nobody anywhere else but in the market as of next week, I think it is. All of you, everybody, Tut Mun Bagay, everybody in the market. Yeah? You don't say, well, we're going to try an alternative approach. Nothing like that. It's just the... Goodness. We have a call online. Good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing?
Brother Sheldon, as usual, Dr. Mitchell, a man that always delivered when he came on a program. He delivered, he highlighted the situation of the country, what this government is doing to the poor people. And Brother Sheldon, I want to say something. This government has no conscience for the poor people, for the vendors, the fishermen, those that can empty by the roadside to make a living. And what the government comes to is to break down, to mash up, and to destroy the poor people's life, making life more miserable. But I call upon the poor people that vote for NDC, right? Thinking that their life will be better, and this present government, yes, you vote for them. But now I want to encourage you. You know, under NMP, your life will be much better. The house is open for you to come in. Come in. When you come into the house, there is love and peace in that house. Because NMP is a party of inclusive. They see everyone, NMP, NDC, GLP, other party. Once you reside in Grenada here, they see you as a Grenadian. They don't see you as an alien. When you look at this present government, you see the poor people in the country as strangers in their own country. Well, I shall learn again. I want to say to the Grenadian people, those of you who with the age of voting, and you already said, go and get registered. Go and get registered. Parents, encourage your children to go and get registered. Those of the NMP supporters that did not vote in this election because of certain things they wanted and didn't get, make sure next election you go and vote to get rid of this parasite.
All right, thank you. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Let me make sure I have the WhatsApp. Yeah, because sometimes I forget the WhatsApp and I need to have it open so you all get the opportunity to call. Yeah, and I know you all love to call after Dr. Michelle has spoken. I know many of you like to make sure that you can get through to the program, at least to say hello and so on. 440-7377. Just a reminder, we are having the Friday night forum tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow is going to see the return of the Friday night forum. We're looking forward to that one. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir. How you doing?
Listen, I wonder if these guys sit and listen to the way that a leader speaks to his people. Everything about Doc is articulate. All right? He hold no punches. He say and did the nastiest thing in the nicest way. All right? he showed what a true leader is about. And I want all of them from the CDN party, he had to call it backwards now, as he told them they had to go back to school. They had to come to classes. I hope they took heed of coming to classes and see what it is. A true leader, an inspirational leader is made of one who has the country and the people at heart. I always tell people, Dr. Mitchell made a statement at night in Montmorris in a meeting. Somebody asked him, that is just prior to winning the first clean sweep. Doc, why are you doing this thing? You had enough. He said, I ain't doing this for Keith Mitchell, you know. People think I'm doing this for Keith Mitchell. He said, I'm doing this. And he turned around and he pointed to a little girl. He said, this generation is what I'm doing this for. This is my satisfaction. And I sat there and I looked at him and I was like, okay. I wonder how much politicians would say that and it genuinely comes from the heart. And tonight you can hear it in Doc's voice. Doc is hurt, as well as any patriotic Grenadian should be, the way our country is going. We have a lot of things to address, but look at what they want to address. Sheldon Scott, all right? Something that is past its prime. They had cabinet conclusion. Up to now, nothing can come out of it. First set of NEC said they had evidence about Doc getting briefcase, and as soon as they take office. And if people still buying into that, NDC or CDN is one of the biggest cults. They're just like the Republican Party in North America. All right? And as Doc say, you keep the faith, brother. Keep preaching and let everybody know the longest rope of an end, the longest praise of amen, and the longest journey must come to an end. There's only a couple more years, and we shall show them what NNP stands for.
Yes,
Keep doing the good work, my brother, and remember, the diaspora is behind you.
Thank you so very much, my brother.
All right?
Yes,
Respect
indeed.
to the max.
All right. Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your night tonight.
I would, and you do the same.
All
and when
right.
you do, get home safe after this.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, bro. Yes, indeed, folks. And I want to take a short while just to remind you all, because I tend to forget sometimes. So I want to remind you all of the activities that we have coming up. Yeah? So remember the new National Party New York Support Group. They cordially invite you to an exquisite affair, an evening of elegance, style, and class. That's taking place Saturday, the 13th of July. So you have 1 month to prepare. Saturday, the 13th of July, 2024, starting at 9 p.m. Music by DJ Jude and Small Clothes. Tickets, $100, and formal attire, all-inclusive event. All right? So come on out, experience delightful entertainment, fine dancing, dining, graceful, all kind of nice thing. Once it's nice, you know it's an NP thing, so you go be there. Right? At the Legacy Loft, 9302 Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. And as I say, me and French, we ain't too thing. But folks, you can get your tickets. You call Kathy Alba, 347-262-6818. Wendy Maguire, Night Nursey, 917-602-1476. Aisha Oliver, good night, Mrs. Oliver, 917-520-3164. PD Francis, 917-642-7187. PD, and I know it go, brother. Yeah, believe me, I've been down that road, so I know that one go. Sharon Caesar, 862-234-0879. All right, and folks, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, and other executive members of the new National Party will be there. So looking forward, well, I can't say looking forward to seeing you all day because I think I might make it. And folks, yes, the 40th anniversary bingo. Yeah, bingo, bingo, bingo. Right, that is coming up on the 14th of July. So you have the event taking place on the 13th, and the next day, the 14th of July, you have the massive bingo taking place. All right, $100,000 in cash and prizes, and a Suzuki Ignis hybrid car. Watch, you know, only winning a whole car. You have to come down to that, right? $50,000 in cash and other prizes. Right, tickets $60 for $100 for 2 free buses. Let me repeat that. Free buses available island-wide. And it's going to be taking place in Victoria Park in Grenville, St. Andrew. So that's taking place on Sunday, the 14th of July. The massive, massive anniversary bingo of the new National Party. It is a fundraising event. And of course, you could win yourself a car. Yeah. You could take the bus to come up and you could be driving back down. Or across, because next thing is somebody in Grenville itself win it, or next thing somebody up in St. Patrick, so you're driving up, or somebody in Carriacou, so you drive it onto the boat and then take it to Carriacou. Yes, Carriacou people, you had to come down too. So that is the bingo taking place on the 14th of July. Yeah, the 40th anniversary bingo, and a Suzuki Ignis hybrid car is up for grabs. $50,000 in cash and other prizes. Tickets only $60 for one, $100 for 2. And again, remember that part, eh? Free buses available. All right, you're also invited to the annual tea and hat party that's coming up on the 30th of June. That one is just this month, just 2 weeks away. The 30th of June, yeah, and it will be an open bar. Prizes will be given for best male and female dressed. $25 for children, $40 for adults. That's taking place at 535 East 19th Street, Newkirk and Ditmas from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. So that's the 30th. So organize your hat and thing. If you had to go on Shein, you had to go on Temu, you had to go on Amazon. Go and organize and get all your hat and thing organized for the activities. All right, yes, I saw the phone line ringing while I was singing. So let me see if I can get the call. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Let me call back one of the people that was calling on the WhatsApp. Let me see if I can get back that individual I was calling on the WhatsApp. And then hopefully we'll get the calls that we were missing otherwise on the landline and the overseas line. Probably we'll get back. Hello, good night, caller. Oops, yeah, that one dropped off. So yeah. So folks, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get the calls back. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside of tonight's program. So remember, yeah, you have the affair taking place on July the 13th. Yeah, then you have the bingo down in Grenada. That's going to be on the 14th of July. That's the massive bingo. Free buses island-wide. So it have buses all over the island. Yeah? Just contact your regional person. They're going to tell you which bus and so that you could get on. So it have buses all over to bring you down to the bingo. Right? It's a fundraising bingo. Yeah, the party doing it fundraising. Yeah, I had to do my fundraising too, because you know the situation, We have a call online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hi.
Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Yes, we're hearing you. Go right ahead.
Good night. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you clearly. You go ahead.
Okay, good night. Sheldon, listening to you, you always say that if you go off track, if you say something that you're not supposed to say, you would get a phone call that would bring you back in line. I'm not too sure. Well, you didn't say who you would get the phone call from.
There are at least 3
But
people.
I'm here to tell you, Sheldon, I am quite happy to hear how Doc commend you tonight and encourage you. And as you know, we all are standing with you. Keep up the good work. Continue to do what you are doing. Some hydrants are dry. We go fire from all cylinders. Good night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my dear. And let me say a very special good night to Cammy. Yeah, Cammy is only one day Cammy Day, man. Yes, Cammy Day. All right, yes, and I know 1 or 2 of you all been passing by Cammy and you want to, yeah, you could go by Cammy, you could check Cammy for me, man. Yeah, you could go by Cammy. All you know, that is like my office. Yeah, I'm always by Cammy. Morning and evening, I'm always passing by Cammy. That's like the office. So you all can go on and check Cammy out if you all want to pass by. And remember, she still has Talking Points t-shirts too. That's another way of supporting. She still has some Talking Points t-shirts. I think mostly just the black she has now, and she has large. I don't think there's any extra large left, but she has some left and so on. I also have some left. If you want the Talking Points t-shirts, you can contact me and we'll organize. All right, nice. Or you could pass by Cammy. Also, Cammy, I hear you have coconut oil and all kind of thing. I think I need some, you know. Yeah. They say that's better. Yeah, I need some coconut oil and them kind of thing. I see you having like a sale on pants and thing for children and so on. So, folks, if you're passing in town, give Auntie Cammy a check. I know some of the listeners, one of the listeners passed today from, I think it's Canada. They passed by today and they make a little pass by Auntie Cammy. Give Cammy a check out. Right? 440-7377. 440-7377. You can call us directly or you can call us on the WhatsApp. Also remember 347-329-3101. That's the number you can call to get onto the inside. If you are in North America, you could call on the WhatsApp if you're in North America, or you could call on the North American line. Yeah, because that line deals specifically with the United States, any part of the United States and Canada, and it registers as a local call. It's not an overseas call, right? So you can call us via that. So folks, I mentioned earlier something that I saw. And again, I don't want to end the program tonight. We know we're far from ending the program tonight, but I don't want the program to end tonight without me saying it again, because there may be people that have joined a short while ago, or people that joined midstream, or people that joined when Dr. Mitchell came on. So let me repeat. Today, I have seen screenshots that indicate that the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petit Martinique has been involved in further, apart from what we saw yesterday, what we discussed yesterday and that sort of thing, in further misbehavior in public office. That said individual conspired to get rid of Mr. Sebastian Steele. I'm saying what I saw in the thing. An investigation would have to do to prove it, either to prove it was true or to prove it's not true. Right? So an investigation will have to be done to confirm whether or not that is true or not true. But the documents that I saw that were being shared in that screenshot talks to a coach in Jamaica being paid through the MP for Carriacou and Petit Martinique and a third party, that those individuals got the person in Jamaica to send false information to Grenada utilizing the email. Again, utilizing the email and heading of a educational institution in Jamaica. That false information was sent from there to Grenada, and that the individual who emailed that was paid. In other words, is a corrupt act that took place. That the individual in Jamaica was paid. And not only that, because this caused the removal of Mr. Sebastian Steele from what you can extrapolate from what is there. So whether it is true or untrue, the minister needs to answer as to whether that is true. In fact, if it is true, Minister, you need to answer, just resign. You need to answer, just resign. Go. Yeah? Because that is misbehavior. You're making a jail in most countries. That's misbehavior in public office. You can't do them kind of thing, brother. And then, those screenshots also point to the intent to do similar to Senator the Honorable Norland Cox and Skylark. Yeah? It points to doing the same thing to both of them. So I'm saying here that from what I've seen, what I have picked up in relation to that particular additional issue compared to what we were speaking about last night and what has been all over, I think it didn't break the internet, and I think that smashed the internet yesterday. So that there are additional screenshots to those that speak to this act. Because we all heard, and many people in Carriacou and outside of Carriacou know of Mr. Sebastian Steele and his involvement in sports in Carriacou over the years. I knew him way back when he was boxing and so on, and himself and people like Shane Joseph, Kenneth and Joel Lewis and all of them used to be boxing and were at the Carriacou gym upstairs where the National Lottery Authority is. I remember all of them being there. Yes, I knew Sebastian from way back then. Yeah, boxing and different things, and then involved in coaching and all of these things afterwards. So it was kind of surprising to hear that he was removed. But then again, when you have people that playing hatchet man, well, I don't know if it's the hatchet or the handle because the kind of thing. But anyway, who playing hatchet man? When you have people that playing hatchet man and utilizing those kind of things, if what we're seeing there is true, then they need to use the hatchet on themselves. They need to go. No if, what, or but about it. Well, I will leave the but pass. But if, no if, or what about it. We can't say the but part. We will leave that out because kind of messages that pass in there. We don't want people to misconstrue us wrongly. So we go leave the but out. Right? Nice, yeah. But I'm telling you that this must not be something that Grenadians must just, we jump up on it now and you leave it alone. Because the intention by these individuals, the intention of these individuals is that this will be left alone. That's their intention, They believe that nobody ain't gonna bother with this. They believe that they can get away with this. That they could just say is not true, as fake, and people go believe that. No, investigate. Come to us and tell us that is fake. You come out and not only say it's fake, say, be brave. Say, I have my mobile device, the mobile device that I was using around that period of time. I am handing my device to an impartial, and again, not the FIU. The FIU right now, as far as I am concerned, is compromised. They are compromised. So don't say you're handing it to no FIU and this kind of thing. We want impartial. We don't want nobody from on the island. We want impartial. Yeah? So that an impartial investigation can take place in relation to the allegations as connected to those screenshots. What do they call it? Screenshot gate? I don't know. Maybe pink gate. Now, you call this one pink gate. Yeah? So, it is easy for the FIU to trace if said individual in Jamaica was paid. If they received a payment here from Grenada, the information will be there as to who transferred the funds, when the funds were transferred, which agency, whether it was one of the companies that was used or a financial institution was utilized to transfer those funds between Grenada and Jamaica. And I'm telling all you, if all you try to hide it here, somebody say Woodgate, I think it's Iron Gate, yeah, Woodgate. would get. Because I'm warning you all that if you're not investigating, I will be investigating. And I have friends in just the right places in Jamaica who will be able to investigate said matter and get back to me personally, with the information as to whether what we're seeing contained in those screenshots is true or not true. Save yourself the embarrassment, eh? Alright, okay. We have a call online. Hello, good evening.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear. How
I
are
don't
you?
get Kami for the couple time. What happened to Sister Kami?
She's good, man. I was by her up to this afternoon.
And I see you pass today an MC, man. I see you pass an MC today.
Which part?
And I ain't see you wearing a pink shirt.
No. Me, I ain't putting on that pink shirt in a hurry, girl. Afraid now.
You have to put that pink shirt tomorrow, girl.
And I like my pink shirt, you know. Not because of the color, you know, because of how it does fit and it's nice and cool, but not afraid to put on my pink shirt.
Yes, man. Put on that pink tomorrow, girl.
All right. Okay, my dear.
And let me tell you, Sheldon. Mr. Deacon, the Prime Minister, he have to sit back and listen the right honorable Prime Minister speak. When coming for speaking and talking to these people, that is a man for that. These people are not to talk to people. They like it there and there because they like, you know, like when jet blue flying in the air. That's how they flying, you know, Sheldon. And they go in and they don't come back and say what they get and what they don't get. They're not talking to the people. The people on the ground, people balling. The people suffering. Sheldon, if the little road worker name was there, if the people was spending money, the money was suffering on the ground. The people they give out pension. People don't use their money, you know. They put it in the bank. They don't invest in nothing. And when investors come and they invest, they say they're selling. They talk about Kidmeter sell this and Kidmeter sell that. How much they selling now? The more passport they sell already? Where the money going? They say that about the come back again. They say that the security and them was securing the house and them empty houses. What is securing now? That would have the Gala money up there and the CBI money going up there. So they are the security it up there. I want to know. These people is a waste of time and they're lying too much for people. They don't send up all their eyes and all their ears and all their mouth. Listen, they are liars. They don't good. They are hypocrites. And some of them are too damn hypocrites. We don't open what and say not me balling. The balling inside our system and they get this stroke and lockjaw. Have a good night.
All right, my dear. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Folks, remember you can also call us on the WhatsApp. Yes, you can call us via the WhatsApp so that we can have that discussion. Yeah. And yeah, no, someone is asking, good night, Sheldon. You must find out what happened to the people that's selling on the Port Highway. Well, the folks on the... Oh, gosh. Well, you're finding all kind of name for this one. Like we have to have a competition to name this one. Yeah, you have... I've spoken to one or two of the folks on the Port Highway. Now, remember, according to the law, they were able to file an injunction and they waited until the last day, and when they went to the court, there was nothing filed there by the authority to make them move. So as it is right now, they are just there waiting to hear what the next move is, because it seems as though there was some urgency to get rid of all the people on the port highway, to get rid of them before the carnival season. Maybe these people had friends that they wanted to give the boots and so space on the port highway so that they could make our money for the carnival. I don't know. Maybe that is what take place, because you recognize with these people, that is their friends, their family, their hangers on, their lackeys and so on, that are the ones that making the big money, ain't it? Yeah, that the one of them, 10 grand salary and all kind of thing that they get in. Yeah? So we don't know. So we're waiting to hear further what is taking place when it comes not only to them, but in relation to the removal of people around the island. Yeah, around the island. We want to hear what is taking place in relation to Woodgate. We need to find out what is taking place in relation to Woodgate. And again, I'm letting this administration know that if it is not properly investigated on this end, especially when it comes to that other part with the coach in Jamaica and money being transferred and so, I will find out. And I will come to the Grenadian people and say exactly what I find out when I do find out. It could take 3 months, it could take 6, it could take a year. But I definitely will come to the Grenadian people and tell them what I found out. All right, just letting you all know. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night, and good night to the radiant action.
Yes, we know you're there.
I lie down, man. I think it's going to go in me.
Yes, I do.
I think you're a day. Grenadians are there. Nothing wrong. A day, man. All right, good night to everybody.
Outside of the coconut oil, what else you had on there?
You don't have coconut oil, somebody buy out.
Well, I move slow, boy.
Yeah. She might bring again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe she's listening. Right. She should bring more. All right, my dear.
All right.
Yes, man. Cammy Day. Yeah, tell her by Cammy up to this afternoon, right? Yes, so you folks, you could all just pass in by Cammy. Nice. 440-737-734-732. And I can't say that one on air. Yeah, just in case children, although they should be in bed, I can't say that one on air. Just remember, it is Pride Month, so be proud. Come out and say, well, that's what they say, it's Pride Month. I don't know. So it's Pride Month. Be proud. Come out and say, I have a friend that always say, live your truth. Live your truth. Yeah? That's what I would say to the MP in Carriacou. Live your truth. Yeah? Live your truth, man. Don't. It's have other people in the cabinet that have to live their truth too, eh? Yeah, they have to live their truth. They have to live their tooth. They have to live. But at the end of the day, it is necessary that some sort of investigation take place in relation to the screenshots that are out there for Woodgate. Yes, that the screenshots, that some sort of investigation takes place. It is not a response, and let me just be clear to the government. It is not a response to have no response. That is not a response. Yeah, that is disrespect to the Grenadian people. There must be some form of proper response. There must be some sort of investigation. Don't just come and try to tell us that it's fake and leave it at that. No, because from what we're seeing there, it doesn't look fake at all. What is fake is what you all tried to put out on Senator Cox yesterday, where obviously it was not done by Nolan Cox. Because number one, that is not even the profile picture that he does use these days. And secondly, because you cannot change a person's profile picture. If that's their profile picture, that's their profile picture that they're using. Yeah, you can't fake it and say you're changing the person's profile picture. If that is the profile picture they're using, and he has not used that profile picture in the longest while. Right? And secondly, you all forgot to remove the watermark from the app that you use to make it. And third, WhatsApp doesn't look like that again. And fourth, you all send it out as the NDC UTAM in Carriacou. So you all are making no sense with that. Don't try them kind of stupidness. But it shows a level of desperation, and then it leads us to ask, why that desperation? Why? When we realize that the Minister of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs, Mr. Tevin Ishmael Andrews, again your full name, Sumi, when he continues to attempt a deflection and distraction away from what is out in the public atmosphere right now, that we all as Grenadians have every right to ask about. We have every right to ask about this. So we would like to know a proper response. Don't just come and say you don't bother in with it and you don't bother in with it and you focus on this and focus on that. Is deflection. So to see that you're deflecting and attempting to distract, but at the same time, your UTAM in Carriacou is creating force because it's obvious it's them, because it's them that are sharing it. So if Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox decides he wants to take legal action, he knows who to go after because it's the UTAM over there, and that one is definitely fake because the watermark from the app that was used to create it is still there. It is still there. So if he decides he wants to take legal action, he can take legal action and he will win. Yeah? So you all are going and doing this kind of nonsense, but at least be honest, be forthright, live your truth. Speak with the Grenadian people and let them know. Speak to the people of Carriacou first. Speak to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique first and let them know. Yeah, don't hide. Come on, talk with people. Nice? Let them know when they ask a question about that, say thing. Don't end up being passing place and people just saying, "We look pink." Don't go through that, man. Live your truth. Right? Be proud. As I say, it's Pride Month. Be proud. Yeah, man? Come on. Yeah, be proud. Don't hide. Nice? Oh. We don't want to hear from other people. Quite frankly, every other member of the National Democratic Congress can shut up. We're not interested in hearing from them. We want to hear from the MP himself, because he would be one of the individuals that knows the truth or falsity of what has been put out. So all the civil servants in Carriacou coming and running about the place trying to tell everybody that this fake and that fake and all kind of thing. Hush! All you hear the government say to hush, hush. Not nothing to do with all you. Unless it's all you was talking to. Right? It is incumbent on the minister himself to let people know what is taking place and stop ducking and hiding and deflecting. Yeah? Come on out and say what has to be said. Right? I know somebody could move with a sheet and thing. My goodness, yes. But anyway, just know that I have my contacts in Jamaica. Yeah? Right. That's all I say. Just know that I have my contacts in Jamaica and they run real deep. Anyway, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here. And I won't be able to take the call. It's now 10 o'clock. So, folks, it's been wonderful being here with you. And we want to once again thank the leader of His Majesty's Opposition, former Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, for being on with us tonight for a short while. And being, well, actually longer than that. He would plan to be on. I had him longer than that. And speaking with us on so many different issues in that space of time. And we look forward to having him on with us again. To all of you that called, all of you that continue to message, all of you that continue to lend your support and give your encouragement, we want to thank each and every one of you. We love you all unconditionally. Folks, tomorrow night we're on with the Friday Night Forum. It's going to be a very interesting one that I've got planned. So, heading out, and in everything you say, everything you do it safe and secure. Wanna be speaking to and with you and not about you. I think I have a tune out of Carriacou for the MP in Carriacou and I have a tune for him. Yeah, let me know.
like to take in the old talk when it start to trace the family back. Oh, that day when we land in Point Selling, who you think that came and we sitting tighty pulling. Man, I went with them to the city, there we meet one of the family, Taki pulling. DJ pumping, kicking like a mad, who get away on the Esplanade, Ray pulling. Man, there's plenty bullying in the area. Oh, give me music. Man, a sexy German girl on holiday. Me and my partner masters met she in La Vie. She eyes blue like the ocean, bright as the sun. With a sexy touching kind of German twang. She says she loves soca and she love it bad. The family bias bad. At first I didn't want to believe she when she said who was she family. She said she cannot understand she family and a woman. She going and tell she mommy as soon as she touch down in Germany. Oh yeah, oh you think that was your family? When that German girl start to tell me dummy just pulling. She say only fast she was passing that day when she hear people saying try pulling. She say in the market she passing when she hear everybody saying Exodus pulling. Man, there's plenty bullying in the area. Oh.